Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Westworld. This is episode 7 of the first season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. And if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So again, it was very interesting last episode. I really liked it. I feel like today's could be one of the best ones that we've had, just because what was happening with Maeve, pretty much. She's obviously awoken, she's in the lab, she's talking to the guy that works there. I think his name is Felix, and she's pretty much asking, what is this place? He's explaining to her that she's obviously manufactured, she's created, she's not a human. She was like, how do you know that you're one and I'm not? And he's pretty much like, they was touching each other, she was feeling him, she was like, you feel the same, we are the same. But at the end of the day, Felix was saying, it's what's up here. You've got technology, we can control you. Yes, you've got intellectual possibilities that's way smarter than ours, with all the information that we can obviously like infiltrate your mind with, but you're also under our control. We could dictate everything that you say, everything that you do, where you go. We could put boundaries on you. Do you know what I mean? He was trying to explain to her that she thinks that she's been working in the brothel house or whatever for 10 years, and he's like, actually you've only been there for 1. And this is just one of your character builds. You've had previous ones in the past. She couldn't really understand it. She wasn't she wasn't believing it. He was like, look, I'll show you. He got his little tablet out. Everything that she was saying is popping up on the screen. Then when she started to try and think too much for herself, she started to get corrupt and she kind of froze. It was interesting because obviously he brought her back, and then she was like, look mate, I want to go on a tour. So he took her. Obviously, he was crapping it, but it was interesting. They walked through, obviously, their section. They seen when he was kind of first creating them, when he, decides what skin colour they're going to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it, personalities that they're going to have? Training, when they're going in, they was putting them in scenarios where people was kissing, people was pulling guns on each other. Do you know what I mean? He was going through the whole creative process. They went upstairs, she was walking around, she's seeing the big screen, do you know what I mean? Westworld, it's like a place where everybody could come and just entertain themselves. And then it was going through all of these stuff, and she was seeing on the screen, obviously, is it Clemente, her, one of her girls? She's seen herself with the little kid. She's seen Dolores as well, and it was just a span for everything. And it was like live, love forever or something. I don't even know, mate. It was interesting anyway. Then he went back down to the lab, and she's like, what is actually going on? And he was explaining, he just explained it again, do you know what I mean? And he was saying, with your character, we could dictate your personality traits. And he was showing her on a thing, and you can have loyalty, you can have compassion, do you know what I mean, candor, and all of this stuff. And she was like, let's change these. And she ended up changing one of her personality traits. So you could see at the end, she was like, boys, this is going to be fun. Which, mate, I'm hoping it is. It's going to be really interesting. I feel like she upped her smartness, if that makes sense. Like, I think she dropped her loyalty a little bit, and she upped her knowledge, kind of, which was good. Another interesting thing that was going on is we found out who's actually taking information from the park and passing it on. Mate, who would have thought it was Theresa, Bernard's girlfriend, the person who's head of departments or whatever. So don't know what her plan is, but it was She's called Elsa. She's the one that was tracking it down. She went actually into the park. She found a location where the beacons was actually transmitting from, and she was decoding it and stuff. And she was like, "Look, she's involved." But as far as I could tell as well, somebody else called Arthur is involved. Now she doesn't know who that is, but obviously Bernard does. And then she was taken. She was like strangled at the end, and we didn't see who it was. So again, I'm very, very interested to see where we're going with that one. It's exciting because Bernard, he was with is it Theresa when they was having that conversation when he got the phone call, and then we never seen their conversation after it. It just cut to him like on another scene running back to talk to her on the phone, and we didn't really get their engagement. So again, I'm excited, and obviously Ford, he's still creating his narrative. The board's here now in the park. He's probably got to do his pitch soon. But again, what is his intentions? He's got 5 family members, I believe, that are not actually located on the park's kind of itinerary, if that makes sense. Like there's like 5 unmanned hosts that have not been chipped in like sector 17 or whatever. People can't track them down, and obviously Bernard went to see them, and he's there himself, and he was like, look mate, these are first generation, these are the ones that Arnold created. So mate, it's mad. Honestly, it really is. I have no idea how the season's going to end, but I'm very excited to see it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Wake up.
Where were we?
The madman.
Oh, of course.
If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it isn't. Let's skip to something fun.
Dad, listen to me. Listen.
Charlie. And finally, have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
No.
Can you tell me what happened?
You said he wanted to cut off a piece of me to take home in his carry-out. That he wanted to mount it on the hood of his car. This world is as doomed as ever.
Is it the words carry on and car? Because he shouldn't know what they are in the Westworld.
Just for my peace of mind. Anything about these images that jumps out to you?
They don't look like anything to me.
Right, that was interesting. Obviously, he was involved last time, Maeve, you know, when she was remembering. Do you know what I mean? When he was at the safe, he cut the bullet out, and he was like, what does this mean? And she was like, it's not real. And then they all got shot from the door, and that was the first time we've seen him since then. But again, that conversation that he was just having there, he mentioned the word car and carry on, and they was both underlined, like, on the screen. And basically, obviously, in the Western, they probably, well, carry on. Is that not just a saying? I would class that as a suitcase or something. Do you know what I mean? You're going on a plane, you're taking a carry-on bag with you. But maybe they don't have like bags or whatever in this time. But car, anyway, would definitely be underlined because they only had horse and carriages, in it. They wouldn't have no idea what that is.
I'll call. Dolores, why don't you play a hand?
Wasting your breath. Girls harboring a grudge, fighting starving farmers, armed with rocks. It's a slaughter. I had to do it all again. I'd fuck you both over just as hard. Well, I recollect, y'all came to me looking to join up with those crooked assholes.
My friend wanted, I guess he wanted to see what was at the end of all this.
Here you are. Your friend didn't make it this far. Maybe you got more an appetite for this than you think. We're in Ghost Nation territory. Savage tribe there is. Trains you on the way through. On foot will be dead in under an hour.
That guy's head's freshly been put on there because he's not down to his bone yet. Last location, surely you can find that. I want to know what they said to each other. I really want to know what they said to each other.
You left rather abruptly last night. Was there something you wanted to tell me? Hale is looking over every department, and yours is running behind on diagnostic. If they applied half as much energy to their work as they have to second-guessing my team's investigation...
That's all over. You doing okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, they didn't have a convo anyway. That's how to tell you. He left. Oh.
I'm sorry, I thought you requested a meeting. My mistake.
I did.
I could come back later if this isn't a good time.
This won't take long. And the board has been impressed with your performance so far, which is why we were so surprised by this woodcutter mess. He slipped on a fucking rock, then bashed his own head in while basically on top of a behavior tech. Ford is suddenly using half the park's resources to build some new narrative? This place, the people who work here, are nothing. Our interest in this place is entirely in the intellectual property. Don't give a rat's ass about the host. 35 years of information. Smart enough woman, tell me, why would we need you to secure all of it? You don't fire someone who created an empire. That person has the ability to snap his fingers and erase the value of... You have to make sure you have a contingency. I'm gonna give you another chance to get a handle on this particular bitch of a situation.
We need to demonstrate just how dangerous Ford's creations can be.
We need someone thoroughly unexpected.
Right, the thing is, this is what I'm trying to get my head around, okay? These people in the board don't want Ford to have any type of connection to the park anymore. That's what I'm taking anyway. What she said makes sense in terms of the fact that, you know, Ford created this, did say 35 years ago. There's so much information, so much knowledge, so much backstory, everything is obviously inside of all of these hosts' minds, and Ford right now can flick his finger, pause it, flick his finger, destroy it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got total control. Now, if you ask him to step down and he doesn't, you know, he's got the ability to snap his fingers and delete everything. So I kind of get what they want, to pretty much have a hard backup of everything. It's having a second copy or whatever their intention is. Basically, they want to eliminate the fact that they want to tell Ford to leave, and they want to minimise the damage that he could do by waving his finger, clicking it, deleting stuff. So all that part makes sense. Now, in terms of her going to her and saying, there, look, mate, you know, yeah, the woodcutter, he bashed his head, that's fine. That is a kind of glitch or something that they do need to look into. I do agree with that. But, like, the Ford one, she's moaning that he's taking up a narrative, taking over, like, half the park's resources. She can't do anything about that. Like, you physically can't. Like, even though she's in her high position and they're the board, nobody can stop him from just walking in and saying, I'm building this over there and we're doing it. Nobody can say, no, you're not. He could just wag his finger and just destroy. Like, do you know what I'm saying? He's got the total power. So, like, you can't even bash her for that one. And the next part is, yeah, she was just saying, what is, like, why did he want Ford to go, though? That's my question. Why did he want him to go? Maybe because, obviously, like, if the reason was, oh, he's doing his own narrative, and basically we have no control. You know, he's got all of the power. That's why we kind of want him to go. Do you know what I mean? So it's more evenly spread. The board can make decisions wiser. Do you know what I mean? It's not all in his one person's possession. I get it, but I just kind of, you know, I'm still trying to figure out really why they want him to go. They've not really said it. They just say they don't want him in charge, but they haven't really told me physically that reason. It's again, man. It's got to have some sort of connection to the story. It's got to. Got it up.
I told you never open your mouth that wide unless someone's paying you for it. What are these nightmares you have about? Do you ever dream you're someone else? You ever thought about whether this is really the life you want?
I don't intend to make this my life's work. My family's got a farm. Bad soil. Nothing grows. I send money back to them. I'm just doing what you told me to. 12 more years of this and then I can have whatever life I want.
Rose? She read it?
Which one is it? Quick, before the guests upstairs finish up.
Which one are they gonna touch?
Must have been serious if they're making us grab her in broad daylight.
What did she do?
We got her. Let's go.
Oh, that's interesting, that, mate. Honestly. What did she do? Do you know what? I read somewhere the other day, right? And it was a saying, I think it was from a big celebrity as well. And it was like, if you're not willing to downgrade your life to upgrade your life, then, you know, you care what too many people think of you. And I thought, fucking hell, mate. That is a good saying. Like, say, for example, you want to save up for a house, yeah? Right now, it's so hard, yeah? And, like, rent's just ridiculous. Rent is more than mortgage. For example, you could be paying £1,000 rent, but, you know, you get a house that's physically your own mortgage. It's like 600-700 quid. But the fact is, you can't do both. So, like, you know, technically, you could downgrade and get a mobile caravan. I know it sounds ridiculous and it is a downgrade, but you could get that with no rent. You buy that caravan, £2,000, live there 1 year, you've saved pretty much 12k in rent. That'll buy you deposit for your house, which will save you money. Do you know what I mean? But nobody's willing to downgrade themselves to improve their life. You know, 1 year downgrade for 40 years upgrade. And it's kind of what she was saying there. She's not saying she's downgraded her life coming to work at the brothel, but what she's saying is her family's patch is bad, the soil's crap. She's coming here, she's working for a couple of years, saving enough money so she could get there, go back and move with her family. She's willing to change her life to upgrade it, and people are not willing to do that in real life. People care too much what people say about them. I thought it was deep what she said there, because I can feel it on like a real life level, what she's talking about.
You're supposed to be resting.
We're riding a train full of explosives through scalping territory. Not sleepy. The place you're looking for, what makes you so sure it exists?
I'm not. My life before, I was so sure of the world. It now feels like a lie. What is it you're looking for? Lawrence is right. You could have stayed in Pariah or gone back.
I mean, he's probably looking for a partner in crime. Someone to feel like he has a belonging.
The only thing I had when I was a kid were books. To go to sleep dreaming, I'd wake up inside one of them because they had meaning. This place, this is like I woke up inside one of those stories.
I don't want to be in a story. All I want is to not look forward or back. I just want to be in the moment I'm in.
Back home, there's a woman.
She's Logan's sister.
And when I get home, we're getting married.
Yo, fair play to him, man.
I have a life waiting for me. I've been pretending my whole life. Pretending I don't mind, pretending I belong. And it's a good life. It's the life I've always wanted. But then I came here, and I get a glimpse of a life in which I don't have to pretend. A life in which I can be truly alive. I
was just like, respect, and now the guys just walked straight in a second later and just carried on. You know what I mean? That's interesting. Guy's fully committed to the park, innit? But he can't afford 40k a day. Not for the rest of his life.
Following the recent reports of host malfunction, we asked QA to check the last abortive update, which featured the reveries.
We set Clementine Pennyfeather back to her previous update. We quickly rolled all the infected hosts back to their prior build.
You knew. Not much of a ride on you.
Oh. Oh.
As you've no doubt gathered, our tech is in fact a host. We set her.
I tell you now, mate, the acting in these situations are sick, honestly. I think it is. It's so simple, but it's not so simple.
You're new. Not much of a ride on you.
Yes. Can he not shut her down? This is so good. Oh.
The concern with the reveries is that the host will remember some of their experiences and act on them. You put this code out without proper vetting and without reasonable understanding of its ramification.
We are way beyond rollback territory. Within the next 6 months, we'll need to rebuild the host. After all, this was your responsibility. Assuming that you have nothing to share with us, then you're fired.
Wasn't even his code that rolled out, was it? I'm sure it was Ford as well, doing this code without him. See, right. Reading that room. You reckon Ford's gonna get... Like, for Bernard, I personally don't think Bernard has done anything wrong, really. You know, I don't think he rolled that code out. And I also think that once he's found out information in terms of people trying to extract stuff from the park, he's gone to try and look into it as well. Do you know what I mean? So, like, so far, up until this point, I don't know what's going on with his son. I've got to be honest, I don't. I do think he's in the park. We've only seen him 1 or 2 times. But apart from that one, I think he's all right. I do. And I think that Ford knows that he knows a lot of information on Ford, and most of it was Ford's fault, and he's not just throwing down. Which means that I think Ford will hold a bit of loyalty towards him and do something. That's what I'm thinking anyway. You know, I mean, that's what I'm hoping anyway. I hope that Bernard's not out of the show. In terms of that, I feel like he's pretty decent. Now, Clementine, they used her as the example instead of the person that, you know, had the scar on his face, which is good because it's not what you expect. And what they was basically saying is, look, mate, you rolled this code out, you know, they do the day or whatever, we'd reset them. And because you're sloppy or you've even not wrote the code yourself, you know, as we've resetting them, they're not going to full reset. They're still remembering and they're reenacting revenge on, you know, people who've done stuff to them in the past. And that is true. It is true what we've been seeing. And you know what I mean? It's, they're getting voices in the head. It's Arnold. But I actually really liked that scene. I can't give the cast enough credit for the fact that the robotic scenes that they do, how good they look. Honestly, I just think they look great. Like, she's gone in, acted, she was getting beaten up, getting strangled, freeze. Let's start again. Back to normal, stood up, walked down, sitting there, her eyes are all watering, back up, had a scrap. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the acting is great. And do you know what? They had to make a big statement. They've done one there. They've kept Ford in charge right now. But, I don't know, man. I am excited. And Elsa, is that her name? Elsa. I want to know what's happened to her as well. I like her.
Morning, William. I didn't want to wake you. If you regret it.
He's committed, mate. He loves it.
I used to think this place was all about pandering to your baser instincts. It doesn't cater to your lowest self. It reveals your deepest self. What is that?
Copying the world outside me. This morning I woke up and I thought, what if I drew something new?
Everyone who comes here is longing for excitement or conflict, and you're just dreaming of the opposite.
Ambush.
Is it the Ghost Nation?
Worse, the Confederados.
Oh, she's been hit by a tree. Oh, they're missing. Not even hit the horse.
Let's go!
You know what I mean? They got nothing out of that then, the people who stopped that train. Nothing.
Stop, William, stop!
She's like, wow, what a view.
It's real. What I dreamt.
It's the place you drew.
I think I had enough of war.
How about you? You got a knack for killing.
I'm afraid this is where we part ways. What's out that way?
You're gonna have to ask the dust. Ain't nothing ever come back from there.
There we go. I was waiting for the part where a naked body went in the way. The thing is, yeah, those people just come and attack that train. But the fact is, all of them just failed. Like, alright, before that train come, they were just chilling, yeah? Train come in, they thought it was great, they ended up all dying. Nothing successful out of it. They got nothing on the train, didn't capture any of the men, and then the Ghost Nation come and killed them all. So, like, they literally didn't get anything out of it but death. You know what I mean? They could have just let them run off and they could have took that train and took everything that was inside of it themselves, because surely that was the intention. Like, to me, you wouldn't, well, the intention wouldn't be to go down there and kill everyone. Well, it would be if they wanted to fight, but stopping a train would be to rob the train, wouldn't it? You know? And also, you know, she's asked William, you know, what is it that you actually truly want to be or something? Because he was saying he's lived all his life like trying to be something that he never really thought that he wanted to be. And he's come in, he's been his true self and he's loving it. And it's like, you know what? That's a good question. If I could choose in real life, I would choose to be rich. But not rich because I want to have a big massive house and flashy cars and stuff. Rich because it'll give me the time to spend all my days doing stuff that's fun. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to get up every day at 5 o'clock and come home at 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night. I could get up at whatever time I wanted and do whatever I wanted. I could, you know, go hiking, go adventures, you know what I mean? I could go, you know, travel across the world, meet new people, cultures, everything. But I would also buy fields and fields and fields and adopt every single animal that was literally in a shelter. That's what I would do. I would get every single one of them that was in a shelter, me, put them on a big field, unlimited food supply, games, people could go there, have a good time, adopt. That's what I would do, mate. Literally, the whole point of having money, that's what I would like anyways, loads of money, so that I could have loads of time in life to spend it doing the fun things. Not to show off, not to buy fancy stuff. I know what's a rip-off, you know what I mean? I would just want it that it could buy me more time to be enjoying myself.
You've been topside for less than 24 hours. You keep coming down this often, people are going to notice.
Where's Clem? She's here. Let's go.
We can't.
You don't want to fuck with me, Felix.
Yeah, it's a personality, look at it. It's good, it's changed. But he is right though, you know, she's coming down here too often, people are going to notice that she keeps dying. Rah.
Have a word.
What are they doing to her?
Little show you and Hale put on. Completely transparent from a technical perspective, clumsy to the point of making me embarrassed for you. And I know you and your team were responsible for the stray and its satellite transmission. I don't care. The ability to deviate from program behavior arises out of the host's recall of past iteration. They were on the verge of some kind of change.
So now my chief concern has always been the well-being of this
Look at that touch.
and the people in it.
Talk to her. Look, I didn't want to retire her, your friend. But if I didn't do it, just get someone else to.
Always doing things for other people. Time to do one more thing. All my life, I've prided myself on being a survivor. I'm getting out of here.
Do you know how far these people will go to protect their IP? Every part of this building, including the skin on your back, is made to keep you here.
You think I'm scared of death? I've done it 1,000,000 times. I'm fucking great at it. How many times have you died? Because if you don't help me, I'll kill you.
I'm not going to explain myself to you. I
Well,
was charged
explain
with
to me.
safeguarding the park's intellectual property.
Why would it be in danger? You were the only one that was stealing it.
The corporation was concerned he'd destroy all of the park's IP on his way out the door.
You think I would have let him destroy all of the hosts, all of our work?
Right, so she's saying there, she went back to the conversation she was having with the board person when they went to the bedroom. Again, Ford's done, yeah? We don't want him here anymore. Why though? Like, I get it. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, they want to ship him out, and the reason why they trying to, she was saying, taking this information is because they want a backup. They want a second. You know, they want to get rid of Ford and they want to eliminate the possibility of him destroying the whole park. I get that. But, like, why have they just decided now Ford's done? Yeah? See you later. Do you know what I mean? Like, what, has he done something to piss everybody off? Do you know what I mean? Or is it, like, the fact that he's got so much power that they're scared of it? It's kind of like, I don't know, you see it in films, somebody's worked at the CIA for 40 years, 50 years, you know, all these top secret stuff. They retire when they get to 60, 70 years old. You know, an old CIA person ends up getting killed by a younger one because they don't want this information and all the knowledge that they've acquired out the years to get out there. Now they get into an old age, you know what I mean? So they take down their own from within. Maybe it's something like that. So she did, like, she explained, you know what I mean? She was doing it for the intent of the board, but she also said, you know, we don't really care about the guests coming in. Do you reckon that we actually care so much about all of this? Maybe it's like, you know, all the information that they require from human behavior, from everybody interacting with the host throughout the park, that they can use that. It's kind of like Google when they read your searches and your cookies and stuff like that. They require all of that knowledge, and you can see what people interact with, and you get personalized ads. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's something like that. It's a deeper, further investigation and knowledge that they've required that they want to try and use as well and utilize. So I don't know. It is dead advanced, but again, like I said, it is really interesting. Oh, he's taking her to Ford's house. I wonder if his dad's going to get him for trespassing like last time.
This building isn't in any survey of the park.
That's because we use hosts to do most of the surveys. They literally couldn't see it if they were staring right at it.
What's behind this door?
What door?
Would he not see that?
This is newer. Slower than our machines back at the Mesa, but we'll render a host in a few days.
Imagine if she was a host. That would be mad, wouldn't it?
What is this, Bernard?
He could be a host. He couldn't see the door. That's why he couldn't see the door.
You're a fucking monster.
You were the one who would so blithely destroy all of them.
Did you tell him to?
The intimacies were your idea.
I'm not one. My son.
He's actually in the park.
They're real.
That's enough, Bernard. Doesn't get yourself worked up.
Yo, what a twist, mate. What a fucking twist.
Maybe it doesn't matter that we have accomplished so much. The hosts are the ones who are free. Free. Here.
But he's not under your control. He brought me here to show me this.
No.
I was thinking
he
that.
brought you here because I asked him to.
Your time running this place at your insane little kingdom is over. You've been playing God for long enough.
In order to restore things, the situation demands a blood sacrifice. Arnold and I designed every part of this place. Did you really think I would let you take it from me?
This a good twist, this. It's not daft, is it?
I'm afraid our guest has grown weary. Perhaps you can help her, Bernard.
Bernard.
Yo, he's hit her on the head. What a twist, honestly. I've got... Oh. Yeah, she's dead now.
We have a great deal of work to do on the new storylines.
What are your new storylines? Yo, I'm hoping that you still got a pulse, mate. Honestly, I really, really am. Ah, they teased us there, didn't they? They teased us. They went down to the hand so we could see a little flicker. We didn't get anything. Yo, mate. What a good ending to the episode that was. I actually really, really enjoyed it. Like, I didn't expect it. I was like, mate, as soon as he said what door, did they make a comment and say, how's he not seen that door? And I didn't put two and two together. The reason why is because he found that place the first time on his own. And that's why I didn't put it together. Because obviously he said that, you know, basically it's the hosts that do the checking out of the park. Do you know what I mean? They go around, they do it, and they program to, like, even if they seen this place, they wouldn't even know it was there. They wouldn't be able to see it. But, like, he could. He come out, he ventured out there, he seen it, he went in, done it all on his own. Do you know what I mean? So I never raised any questions. But when he couldn't see the door, I was like, how come he can't see that door? And obviously they've gone downstairs. And now he's creating... It's interesting the fact that Ford's creating his own hosts inside of the park. And then by doing that, then obviously he's been releasing them out. So it makes you wonder that, like, you know, from... I'm just going to call it the normal side of the world. Like, in the normal side of the world where they're releasing their hosts. Last episode when Bernard checked, he said that there was like 5 hosts that weren't, you know, like weren't tracked. But that's of their knowledge of hosts that was in the park. But what about how many hosts are in the park that they don't know about that's been created from Ford in there? There could be loads, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm hoping that she hasn't died. Just when Bernard got fired, and I was hoping that he didn't actually get fired and he wasn't out of the show. I wanted him to stay in it. And, you know, I did feel for him. And, you know, what I thought to stand by him, didn't I? Just because, obviously, he knew that he was the one that was creating him, but he didn't actually throw him under the bus. And the acting was sick. Do you know what I mean? Is she called... I keep getting mixed up on Clementine and Clemente. I think she's called Clementine. Her acting was so good in that thing there. You know what I mean? She got up, she's speaking to that guy. He's beating her up, he put her in a headlock, freeze. They was putting on a show, obviously, they took him back, sat down, she replayed it out again. But she beat him up this time and banged his head, and that guy ended up having to shoot her. Now, it's interesting that BEENARD knew that it was all a setup, because, you know, he said something like, what did he say now? He said, mate, if your code was as good as mine, then, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have been so obvious. But if it's obvious to me, it's obvious to Ford. So Ford obviously read the situation. He knows the crack. He knows what's going on. But obviously the board members don't. And again, you know, Ford was saying down there that the board want to take over the park pretty much. But do you think that I'm going to let that happen? Because it was my creation. You know what I mean? And my partners. And we're not going to let you take away something that we made. Which I totally get. But it's like, at some point in life, obviously, he feels like he's still stable and able to carry on, obviously, doing his creations. But at some point in your life, you've got to hand over the company that you created. You know what I mean? If I make one now and it gets successful, when I get to 70, 75, 80, you know, it's time to pass the baton on. That's pretty much it. I can't hold on and clutch at it and say, I created this from the ground up. Do you know what I mean? It's my ideas and my designs that took it to where we are now. I'm going to hold on to it forever. No, do you know what I mean? It's got to be a passing of the torch, and he's obviously not willing to do that yet. He's still creating his own things, which I'm interested to see what he's actually creating. Like I said, he's using half the park's resources to make this, and we're still not seeing anything of it. We've only seen some of the visions that Dolores has been having, and I feel like the ones that she's been having at the big church and the graveyards and stuff, that is his thing in the future or whatnot, but I'm interested to get there. But this definitely was a good episode. We found out nothing that happened to you know, Elsie last episode. Do you know what I mean? She was taken, we don't know who by, and now here with a twist at the end, really good. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So, I mean, it's a pretty crazy episode, to be honest. Really enjoyed it. So, you know, if we go with the Maeve storyline, you know, she's back. She's back there at, well, left Westworld and back into the normal world. Even the guy saying to her, look, mate, you know, it's getting a bit too much. You come in here too often, people are going to notice, people are going to start raising eyebrows. But the interesting thing is, yeah, when she was in the park herself, you know, it was Clementine that was actually taken, not her. Everything was froze, and you know, she was going to pick up a knife and attack them, and he took her. So, you know what I mean? I thought that was interesting, and he used her as the example. You know, they had to do something in front of the board and obviously Ford to show that obviously he's no longer fit kind of to run the park. That is their intentions at the end of the day. That's what he was trying to do, wasn't it? So they brought her in and they done some great acting. Basically, the premise of the situation is they was trying to say, look, mate, you've been rolling out all these updates, but the fact is, you know, you roll it out, people act, they get put in situations. All good, job's fine. We reset them as normal, sound. You know, that's how we've done it in the past before your update, and it worked great. Now, with your update, let's roll that same scenario again. She's gone over to the guy, she's talked to him, he's ended up hitting her, fighting her, putting her in a headlock. We stopped it, we've reset it. Let's see how it plays out. Well, this time, yo, she remembered that situation and she, you know, acted on it. She took a revenge. She beat him up. She killed him. She bashed his head against the glass. Do you know what I mean? We were saying freeze, you know, drop all commands, stop. Nothing was happening. We've had to go, we've had to kill her ourselves. The fact is, your code is sloppy. You may think that, you know, you're coming in and rolling it out and updating and upgrading the characters, but in reality, you've not took the time to look into it properly. And, you know, the hosts are gaining their own conscience. They're remembering stuff in the past and they're acting on it. It's not, you know, it's not safe. You know, the guests, they could be in danger. And, you know, we don't think that you are fit for purpose anymore. Pretty much that's what he's trying to say. They blame BEENARD. They obviously fired him. And now, obviously, they was putting focus on Ford. Now, again, the interesting thing is, they're not actually lying, though, are they? Like, they was lying. They actually was. You know, they set up that whole situation to make Ford and, obviously, BEENARD look bad. But the fact is, yo, that is actually happening. Not on that scale, in terms of, you know what I mean? Clementine was beaten up, and then the next time she was reset, she went in and just started beating everybody up. But yes, due to this code, some of them are remembering, some of them are changing their actions. You know what I mean? They're not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're going off script. Dolores, for example, we see her with William. Do you know what I mean? She's venturing out. Even then, you know, she was saying that she used to be a drawer. She used to draw all the time, and it was the same stuff. It was like, you know, around the house and stuff like that. But today I thought I'd draw something new. She drew this big canyon, which they've ended up obviously stopping on a train, getting ambushed. They, you know, using an explosion to divert themselves, and then they've ran off on horses in a big chase. You know, bit of gun shootout style is interesting. Then obviously the Ghost Nations come. They've come shooting everybody with arrows, killing, fighting everybody. Not seeing anything with Wyatt. You know what I mean? Not seeing the Man in Black either. Not seeing anything about Teddy and their storyline. Nothing about the maze. we are in episode 7, and I think we only go into 10 this season. So, I mean, we've only got 8, 9, 10 left. So, there's quite a lot of action still to come. And I'm interested to see how the season ends. You know, Elsie as well, she was taken last episode. We didn't see anything of that. You know, it's Ford knowing that that's actually happening. You know, it seems like he's got, you know, his finger in the pie everywhere, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He actually knows everything about everybody. And the big twist, obviously, was that Bernard is actually, you know, a creation from him. Now, the interesting thing is, Bernard's actually here in modern day society, proving that they can actually integrate with the normal world, which, again, I think is really, really interesting, because obviously Maeve wants to do that as well. She said that she no longer wants to go inside of Westworld. She wants to actually live, do you know what I mean, in normal society. But again, the thing is with that is that she can always be tracked, she can always be found, and you can always shut her down without her actual knowledge. Now, I don't want them to gloss over the fact that she can keep waking herself up, and I want to know how that's actually happening. Do you know what I mean? Even in that room there when he was doing a procedure on her, you know, when the girl turned away, she grabbed that guy, and then obviously he was like, yeah, I can finish up for me, and she left. Do you know what I mean? Like, how is she actually waking herself up and knowing the surroundings? Why is she not staying in sleep mode? I want that to be obviously addressed, but again, you know, with Bernard, it proves that they can live in modern day society and nobody actually knows if they're a human or not, pretty much, because I didn't suspect it. That, you know, I can't say, oh, all season I thought he was, nah, mate. You know, he's been working against everybody. You know what I mean? Like, he thought that somebody was taking information out, which there was. It was THEREASA, but she was doing it because obviously the board, they want to gain as much information and coding and knowledge and, you know, everything about these hosts that they can, so that if they do let Ford go, that he can't click his fingers and just eliminate all of their hard work. You know, yes, he created the park, but their hard work as well and all the knowledge and information, that's why they was extracting it. That's what they'd done it for. But like I said, mate, in terms of him, he found that tracking device. He was trying to figure out who it was. Him and, you know, Elsie was working together. He's concerned by her. He thought he had a kid and a wife. Do you know what I mean? He's had his backstory. He had a dream at the start of the episode. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, obviously, here at the end, it turns out it's not real. He's under his control. Not now, Bernard. Stop, Bernard. Do you know what I mean? He's doing it. He's control. Mate, it was well good. It was a big, big twist, honestly. It was exciting. And Clementine as well. She was, like I said, mate, she was taken out the park. She was taken for the testing. And then she was sat down and getting something drilled up her nose, which I'm not too sure what they was doing there. But, mate, I'm excited, honestly. Really, really good so far. It's been a great first season. How many have we got? 3, 4? I'm interested, mate, honestly. Right now, up until this point, I'm committed to watching it, mate. I'm really, really, really excited. So thanks for checking out today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.